What's up guys, Dusty here, and in this video I want to talk about the real state of PvP in Dune Awakening. I'm giving you my honest review straight from the deep desert after putting in over 100 to 150 hours only PvP grinding for schematics, being out there and surviving. But here's the thing, at some point if you want those late game rewards, if you're aiming for the best loot, you're gonna have to leave the safety and hit the wall and go into deep desert. That's just how the game is built. Now let me say this up front. I actually love the grind, I actually love the PvP. I love the farming, the resource management as well, hunting down schematics. It can be really fun, even intense, but not everything stay fun forever. And today I want to break down what's working and what really needs a second look when it comes to PvP. Before I go any further, let me just clarify something. I've been a competitive gamer for years, for over a decade. I've played shooters, MOBAs, ranked ladder games. I've played them all and I've always aimed for the top ranks. Dune Awakening isn't a ranked PvP game and it's not trying to be one, at least not right now. There's no leaderboard, no official matchmaking. PvP, this game is just about one thing, value. It's about controlling resource, winning fights over spice, schematics and loots. That's the whole point of it. So when I talk about the balance issues or things that need to be tweaked, I'm not saying the game should be a hardcore esport. Nobody should say that. I'm just saying it should be fair and it should feel good for players who actually engage in PvP. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it real in this video. I'm not here to roast the game or just cry about PvP because I'm a PvP fan. I'm here to talk about what works, what doesn't, and what could make the experience better, especially from the perspective of someone who mostly plays solo, like I do. If you're thinking of trying out PvP in Dune Awakening, or you're already out there getting sandblasted and just trying to figure out how to improve your odds, this video is for you. And if you're someone who's watching and hasn't even played Dune Awakening yet, maybe this will help you decide if this kind of PvP sandbox is what you're looking for. First, let's talk about one of the biggest factors that really shapes the PvP experience in Dune Awakening. How immersive and dangerous it feels when you're actually out there in the deep desert. Now with this recent patch, they expanded the deep desert and added more PvE tiles, and they increased the size of them. So, which honestly was a really good move. It made the deep desert feel more alive. Before this patch, the deep desert was basically empty sometimes. Like you could run for minutes and not just run into a single soul. But now it's finally active and there's decent population roaming around the game. But as a solo player, let me tell you what it's really like. If you're looking for decent PvP, a fair one, as a solo, your only real option is to sneak into a shipwreck, try to ambush someone, catch them sleeping, or pray that you'll get into one-on-one fight, and even then, like, out of 10 fights, maybe one of them is actually a solid fight. Most of the time, it's groups, it's zergs, or just people not ready to PvP and fighting them is not fun. Baiting someone out just to destroy their grind, like spending hours farming, only to get jumped by people who didn't even want to fight for the challenge. They just wanted to ruin your progress. That kind of toxic behavior, that's what pushes good PvP players out of the game, and a lot of PvE players experience getting ruined by that. And yeah, I still love the game, I love it, even with everything I'm about to say. But I look at PvP from high skill perspective. I want to outplay people, I want fights that feel fair, that gives me option to turn the tide, not janky PvP where your character gets stuck on a rock, or you try to jump a wall and suddenly your guy is auto climbing while you're getting slapped to death, right? We all been there. You get stagger locked, you're trying to disengage, you make distance, you roll, you dodge, you do everything, but the enemy just lunges across the map and somehow it still hits you. That stuff, it kills the feeling of control. It removes the skill factor and it affects everyone. Solos, duos, even full squads. Yeah, you could call it a skill issue like, oh, just don't get stuck on train. But let's be real, that's not a PvP skill problem, that's the game fighting against you. You make the right move, you disengage properly, and the game just says, nah, here's random box or ledge, or a stutter lunge to ruin it. And it's a shame, because when it does work, man, it's beautiful. I've had some sick 1v2s, even 1v3s, inside shipwrecks or out at Imperial stations. I've been solo players wipe groups with pure skill and movement. It can be done, but the system aren't built to support it consistently. You go in solo, you're fighting waves of NPCs, barely surviving, and then you've got to kill another 4 or 5 wave just to unlock the damn exit door. All of them while making noise that brings in players from half of the desert. So what can you do? Bring a squad or die trying. That's the state of PvP right now. It's immersive, yeah. It's tense, yeah, but it's also clunky in ways that punish a skill instead of rewarding, and that needs to change. If they want this game to survive long term, especially for the PvP crowd that's going to be here for months or even years down the line. The other problem with the game is when you die and you drop some stuffs, especially your valuable stuff like fuel, which you need to refill your vehicle to get out of deep desert. That said, as a solo player myself, PvP is still tough or unfair, either for you or the other side which you're killing them. I'm someone who always look for a skill ceiling, where I can get better, sharper, smarter, but right now, some PvP mechanics feel janky. Yeah, sometimes it's a skill issue, but often it's not. You make distance, but people still reach you. Let me be real about something and clear it for you 100%. I'm not complaining about better gear or higher levels. You want it? Go grind. It's out there, even in Haga, in the safe zone. If someone's got better gear, they earned it. Respect. That's not the issue. So we cannot just talk about the gear and level. That's something you either grind for or you don't. But something that I'm really happy about, something that is just really good in the game, the parry system is amazing. You block, drain stamina, and open up people for real punishment. This is something called a skill ceiling, something that rewards timing and a skill. It's especially good in outnumber fights. Yeah, it still needs some polish, especially around the stutter, but this is the kind of mechanics that adds real skill expression. More of these, please. But there is one thing that I'm not really happy about. Most people run when they see you, even if they outnumber you. I literally baited 4 players into a shipwreck because I wanted a fight, and they bailed. I'm not saying I would have just won that fight, no. But it's not about winning. I just wanted to try it. I just wanted to play the game. Sure, you can join friends and do big spice operations. Those are awesome, can't lie. But not everyone wants to do big team PvP all the time. A lot of us expected more grounded, on foot PvP, not just chopper dog fights in the sky. PvP needs more love for all player types. Solo, duo, squads. And this is always the same thing. In PvP, one side's gonna win and the other side's gonna be salty. That's normal, but the real frustrations comes when the loss feels out of your control. Right now, if you wanna try to go for those high-end schematics, it's more punishing than a reward. Because, I mean, to be honest, there is no way, unless you stay up till the late night when everybody's sleeping and just go into those Imperial stations and get that schematic if you're a solo player. Because as soon as people hear you, they're just gonna show up and they're just gonna kill you. But here are my suggestions, what they can actually do to fix this problem right now. First one, I really think they should decrease the size of tiles in Deep Desert. Right now, each tile feels too big and it spreads the player base out way too much. If they made the tiles smaller, it could concentrate the action a bit more, making it feel more alive, more active. Now, I'm not saying they should just add more POIs, because I've been talking about this with my friends, and honestly adding too many points of interest could instantly hurt PvP. Why? Because if people are too spread out across too many stations or objectives, you just reduce the chance of actual PvP encounters. Right now we have like 5 or 6 main stations that people care about each week, especially the ones with higher value loot. That's a good number and it gives people reason to clash. So instead of more POIs, tighten the map a bit and make those encounters more consistent. The second thing I really think they should reduce the resource cost for rebuilding. Because let's be honest, if someone loses their stuff, especially their choppers, it can take hours or even days to grind it back for some people. Because not everybody's online all day to play the game. And that kind of grind just discourages players from going back into PvP. So lowering those costs just a little bit could keep people more active, more willing to risk, and more excited to play. If I want to talk about the builds, that's a whole new section, because right now we're stuck with the melee builds and that's the only possible way to play this game. Even if you try those range builds, some of those range builds that are just viable, but still you have like 0 to 5% chance against a good melee player. Why do we have range builds if they're not going to fix that? But before I actually wrap up the video, there are 2 things that I'm really happy about, like 2 things that I see as upside, as procs for this game. The first one is From the moment I stepped into the deep desert and had my first PvP encounter, I saw so much potential in this game. The foundation is solid. It's not like some other games where the core mechanics are unbalanced or janky. This game just needs some tweaking and balancing, and it's a good news. Funcom has already shown they listen to feedbacks, and they've patched and adjusted things pretty quickly. That's a great sign for the future. So yeah, the base PvP gameplay is actually fun. It's not broken, it just needs love. Group fights and larger operations, dogfights, spice extraction missions. Those are some of the best moments in the whole game. When people come together and actually fight over an objective, it feels intense, rewarding, and just super well designed for this kind of world. At the end of the day, PvP in Dune Awakening has so much potential, and I do think the devs are listening. Funcom's been pushing patches, making changes, and honestly, that gives me hope. But please, keep pushing on PvP, keep improving those systems, give us more Parry style mechanics, more moments to shine, more ways for solo players to engage and play the game. If you're still grinding, still fighting, still holding the line, much love to you. Better PvP is possible, and I still believe this game can get there. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video, make sure to comment down below your thoughts, and make sure to subscribe to the channel to see more of the Dune Awakening. Much love, and as always, peace out.